Dan Senor is former foreign policy advisor, to President George W. Bush, author of the new book, The Genius of Israel, that just got an amazing review, I saw. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Okay, there's lots to get to, and you're here for a good reason. So Jonathan Hunt talking about the protests in the West Bank. You said, while it was playing, you said, this is a big deal, so that our viewers understand why.
Because the big fear in Jerusalem is this turns quickly from a one-front war to a potential three-front war. We obviously have the ground incursion in Gaza right now. By last count, as of last night, there were 19 IDF soldiers and officers that had been killed. The fighting there is going to continue. It's going to deepen. The IDF is going to get deeper and deeper into Gaza. You got Nasrallah speaking, the head of Hezbollah speaking. We don't know what that's about, but it's probably not a good thing. So Hezbollah probably wants to escalate. We can see how much they want to escalate, but that's on the northern front. Keep in mind that Hezbollah has 10 times the manpower of Hamas and at least 10 times the military capabilities. And they've spent the last few years fighting in the civil war in Syria, so they're actually well trained. They're much better trained than Hamas is. They've gotten real on-the-ground training. And then you've got some radicalization in the West Bank that Mike Tobin was talking about, which, again, smaller than the Hamas threat and smaller than the Hezbollah threat, but it certainly feels like a big threat if Israel is now suddenly dealing with fronts all around it, north, south, and then in the West Bank.
So we wait to see really what Hezbollah does. And we wait to see what signal Iran gives to them, and by extension, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Wall Street Journal writes today, call for number 4, guys, the Iran-Russian military axis. The two countries are increasingly working together against U.S. allies and interests. There's a suggestion the SA-22, which is an air defense system, which has been operating in Syria for several years, could be given to Hezbollah.
Yeah.
And the reason you would do that is to take on the fighter jets from Israel if that northern front gets hot.
Yeah. So, again, it's just important to take a step back and understand the three powers that are at work here. There are three threats. They're China, Russia, and Iran. And we used to believe that they were all threats to Israel in the West. We were just, their interests were aligned, but we weren't sure how much direct coordination there was. Now what we're seeing, based on what you just cited, is real direct coordination. And it filters down not just between Tehran, Beijing, and Moscow, but with the actual proxy militaries like Hamas and Hezbollah. So in the last couple of days, one of the leaders of the Quds Force of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps was in southern Lebanon, meeting with Hezbollah. So there's Iran officials getting ready in advance of Nasrallah's speech. Khaled Mashal, who's a leader of Hamas, says, you know, the war we launched against Israel on October 7th is good for Russia because it distracts the West from the Russia-Ukraine war.
Which is, just to make a fine point on that, which is precisely what Vladimir Putin would want.
This is a total gift to him. The whole world is fixated on Israel-Gaza and potentially Israel and other fronts, and now we're all paying less attention to what he's doing. So, and Beijing is more, you know, they've got military assets in the Middle East too. So the idea that this all happens coincidentally is preposterous. There's real coordination going on here.
So Antony Blinken is going to take some questions. He's our Secretary of State. He's there in Israel, back again. What would you ask him, or what would you like to hear from him today? Because now we have, because of a heckler, a new policy about a possible pause.
Right. The question for Secretary Blinken, to me, is very simple. Has U.S. policy changed with regard to Israel, supporting Israel in its efforts to eradicate Hamas? Full stop. If the answer is yes, then Israel is in a war. There's no ceasefire in a war. There was a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel on October 6th. It ended on October 7th. Israel is now in a war. If you believe Israel has to eradicate Hamas, tragically, as the U.S. knows all too well from our wars against ISIS all the way back to our wars in World War II, when we firebombed Tokyo, there were 100,000 people killed, civilians, in March of 1945. This is what happens in a war. Tragically, it's not a war that Israel started. So if the U.S. position is to stand by Israel as it seeks to eradicate Hamas, a genocidal threat on its southern border, then it means stand with Israel as it tries to eradicate Hamas, not try to micromanage the war for Israel.
Complicated stuff. It's good to have you on, Dan.
Thanks.
Thank you. Dan Senor, with a lot of experience in the region. Thank you. And check out the book.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.